But a lot of the girls here are done up, so it's like, fuck.
But there's nothing wrong with that shit.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
The average woman who wants to get a BBL, whatever, want to do their body up, like, they think they just get it done.
What's going on? It's your boy Cyrus here, back with the ALF podcast. What's going on, guys?
Yo, what's the deal?
A lot of things are going on in society right now. One of the things that is going on that's pretty crazy right now is actually the whole P. Diddy thing, you know? So how do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about what's going on with P. Diddy as far as like the sex trafficking or possible sex trafficking or the abusive relationships? Like, is that something that you guys are familiar with at all?
Guys, to be honest, I feel like that P. Diddy shit is a little bit blown out of proportion. Yeah. Like, it's shit that happens every day. Like, all these bitches out here are selling.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, we're talking about a high value, you know, celebrity.
The beating is different.
We're talking about a beating now. We're talking about the whole sex trafficking thing.
I don't know, because I feel like it's not really sex trafficking.
Yo,
it's
P.
just
Diddy
like
had the key
prostitutes.
to
it's exaggerated. For sure it's exaggerated.
exaggerated.
I get that. I think more importantly is like the actual abuse, like the
Cassie thing, yeah, that's
the Cassie thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
but the thing that happened supposedly back in like 2008 or some shit. And the thing is, LA can't even charge him because the statute of limitations and how old it was.
Oh,
so he was willing to get away with it. But I mean, really looking at that video, like, I was fucking disgusted. Like, just seeing that in full effect. I didn't even know that was Cassie, but I'm like, yo, that little ass girl, like, he's stomping the shit out of her.
Yeah.
So that brings my next question, right? Why do women stay in these abusive relationships? Have you ever been in an abusive, or do you know people that?
I mean, I've been the beater.
Well, I would say off the rip is like people are just comfort. I don't want, like, they're just so used to being in that situation and don't want to leave the situation. I mean, because P. Diddy, you know, basically he the one who adopted her into the music game. Like, he found her and all that.
That's all she knew, yeah.
Right. So, and that was her bread and butter. So, you know what I mean? Like,
she probably felt like she was gonna be nothing without her.
That's crazy, though. I mean, I think it's important for a female to love herself first. You know what I mean?
100%. And to me, like, if that would have been me getting beat up like that, you would have seen me on that nigga's head. Straight up. Like, I would have been, fighting back.
So the crazy
it would have been
that,
a crazy
die together, baby.
So growing up when I was a kid, like, my mom, you know, she's not very tall, she's not very big. My pops was a big dude. My step-pops, a big dude. And when they would argue, you know what I mean? Sometimes it wouldn't get combative because they didn't throw hands or anything like that. But whenever she thought that he was about to get aggressive, she would say, if you put your hands on me, don't fall asleep. Because when you fall asleep,
Word.
So I always remember that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, like, that was some G shit. You know what I mean? That was some G shit at the end of the day. You know? But a lot of people don't act that way. And a lot of people are more in fear, right? Or they grew up in abusive homes, right? And it's a norm to them. You feel me?
Right.
But either way, I mean, I don't think it's acceptable. Like, a man, you know, like we discussed before, a man hitting a woman, that's just a no-go.
It's just whack for somebody that's stronger to abuse someone else. Even like a guy on guy. Like, a lot of times you see guys out here like trying to bully or punk the next dude. Like, come on, fight somebody your size. Like, don't you want like a what's it called?
Challenge.
A challenge, yeah. You want a challenge?
So growing up, so it's so funny you say that. So growing up, like, I would actually help people out like that. Like, if I saw a dude that was bigger than someone else and he was picking on him, I'm like, yo, fuck that, why don't you fight me?
Yeah,
right.
Same.
And if I had an issue with someone and they were smaller than me, or if I knew they weren't going to hit me back, I would stop. Like, that's it. Enough is enough.
I'm gonna beat you out, but I'm not gonna beat you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna hit anyone that doesn't want to fight me. You gotta hit me first, and then it's on.
Hit you first? What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like, if I get into a physical thing with a girl, like, which I'm not trying to do that. We're grown, have kids.
Right.
But like, if anything was ever to like escalate, then it would have to be somebody hitting me.
I think it's just a very dangerous situation because, yo, when people love and they love hard, it's really hard for them to kind of like extract from that situation. Meaning, she's so used to it. I mean, she's comfortable with it. It's something that she already knows. So to move from that, she's not really used to being comfortable by making a move.
So on another note, right, on the opposite end of the spectrum, an alpha male in a relationship like that would know to remove himself at the end of the day. right? Because I put myself in a situation like that. Like, I've been in situations where it could have got close to that, but I never allowed it to get there. You feel me? Because I knew what was better for myself and what I wanted for myself at the end of the day, right? Is that female the caliber of woman that I want in my life at the end of the day? Was I in fear for my life, or was I in fear that she was going to do something to me? No, because I know how to handle myself. But long term, is that someone I want in my life? Is that someone I want to marry? Is that someone that I want to deal with? No, right?
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But that's the thing, because there's women that will actually test your fucking limits. They will really test it.
But that's what I'm getting at. If a woman is testing your limits constantly, that's not the woman for you. And you have to be, and as a man, you have to be man enough to say, yeah, you know, I may love her, you know, there's a lot of things that I like about her, but that one trait that she has is enough for me to say enough is enough. And I value myself more. I value my freedom, right? Because the last thing I'm going to do is allow a woman to put me in jail because my freedom is gold. No one's fucking with that at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck who it is. So you got to think about that, right? Because a lot of men say, oh, you know, fuck it, that's my lady. You know, she hit me. She didn't mean that shit. But at the end of the day, if she's spiteful and you decide to move forward and move on, she sees you with another girl, then she may call the cops and say, oh, he hit me, right? Just to avoid you moving on to someone else. Not everyone will do that, but there's some spiteful women that'll do stuff like that, right? But as a man, as an alpha, you already allowed that. I always say this, what? You can't fuck me unless I want you to. You get what I'm saying? And what I mean by this, not sexually. I'm talking about like, you can't do me dirty unless I allow you to do that. You feel me?
Yeah, because you see it coming. You can
always.
Yeah, you can see like somebody's personality and like already know, and you know what you're putting yourself into. Absolutely.
It's a double-edged sword on that one. You know what I mean? Again, going back to what I said earlier, sometimes situations could be hot and heavy and get involved. And I would say, if a shorty don't want to get hit, don't touch a man. Don't put your hands on a man expecting nothing to happen to come from it. So, I mean, some shorties need to be put in their place. They want to touch you, then you go ahead and respond in a way.
What happens afterwards?
Well, the repercussions of that are severe. You know what I mean? You know, getting locked up and shit like that. So, but after a while, you know, they do learn. But it all depends on the shorty. Me personally, I don't really agree with it, but sometimes you just gotta really put people in their place.
So for one, I think if a female, and this could just be me, right? But if a woman is putting her hands on a man, she already lost a level of respect.
Nah, I wouldn't agree with that. Because you gotta understand, I think a woman probably has her own personal situation that she's probably dealing with. And there's certain outlets that she doesn't really know how to handle. And that's how sometimes she expresses it, you know what I mean? And it comes out in a way that it's aggressive.
So I agree, Jay. Sometimes words aren't enough, and you're just like, bah.
So let me ask you a question, right? And this could go for a man or a woman. So, have you ever seen a dude who's very aggressive with certain people, but when he gets checked by the right person, he won't be that aggressive?
Yeah, that happens on a daily basis.
Now, why doesn't he get that aggressive with certain people? Because he's checked at the door, and he understands that at the other side, something he may not want to face is on that other side. You get it? But the basis is he's ready to take that leap with anybody else because he doesn't care what's coming.
He's weaker.
Right, he goes
like
after
an
weaker.
animalistic thing too. Animals are like that too. Like they know who to fuck with and who not to.
That's the basis of it. You know who to fuck with, right? And I put myself in the predicament. I've had women that were alpha, like women that were older than me that thought they were the shit, and I checked it at the fucking door. And has it ever happened to where I've had to get physical with someone because they got physical with me? It happened one time, and I deaded that shit. You get it?
Yeah, no, I agree with it because, you know, situations could really arise where it gets aggressive.
Money doesn't always necessarily make you a high caliber man at the end of the day, right? Because
we got to talk about the world that we're actually in right now. Because,
well, who are we basing this off of? Are we basing it off of females that just look for money and that's all they want, right? Because if they do that, they got to know what comes with that. If a man is super wealthy, right? 100%. That's like when you date. That's when you date an athlete. We've talked about this in the past. You date an athlete. He's gonna be my husband. He's gonna be loyal to me. No, he's not.
Deal with the disrespect.
Deal with the disrespect. Deal with whatever comes with, right? In a perfect world, yeah, should he be loyal? Of course, right? But the reality of it is, when a man reaches a certain level and he has a certain amount of money, first comes the money, then comes the power, right? And then with that power, he feels like he can do whatever the fuck he wants at the end of the day, right? It shouldn't be that way, but that's just a reality. We gotta be realistic about shit like this. You feel me?
Yeah, I get it, but that's why, in that particular sense, that's why Cassie has been put up with this shit for so long and decided to speak out. She was probably getting battered for years that we didn't know about. We just saw that video. Yeah. And she ain't do shit about it until the point where she got fed up, started talking about it, then everybody started snitching on her. And that's what changed the whole dynamic.
You know what I think is worse though? Like, to me, like, he's fucked up for doing it, but everyone around him that saw that shit happen and didn't do anything about it, that's fucked up to me.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit that I'm like, you're not a fucking leader, you're a fucking follower, and you let the money move you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You turn your face, right? But if that was your mom, if that was your sister, if that was your lady, now it's different. You feel me? That's the fucked up shit that I'm talking about.
Yeah, but,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, niggas ain't really thinking about that firsthand when the shit goes down.
Yeah.
And then until you break it to them, like, yo, that could have been your mom, your aunt, your sister. What would you have did? Well, I probably would have handled it different. Well, think about that. Use your
Same
mind.
shit,
Use yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah, come on.
So let me ask you, Santos, so what do you think, from a female standpoint, what would be the biggest flex that you would say a female would have in a relationship? What would be something that you'd be proud to say?
I mean, I feel like everybody has different, like a different idea of that, because like some people might feel like intelligence, some people might feel like hardworking, or like that they can cook, or that they take care of their kids really well. I feel like for me, the biggest flex is being well-rounded. So a little bit of everything. You don't have to be perfect on all aspects, but just be able to, like, you know.
You can hold your own.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, I think that's. Well,
just have like a, you know, like a good head on your shoulders, and be able to like help direct your partner. You know.
Be a solid backbone.
Yeah.
Balance. I definitely would agree with that. But
whatever
I think,
you're missing, your partner should be able to balance it.
Right. Balance is very important. I definitely that actually hits on the nose, but just the fact is that I have somebody to lean on to share ideas with things. Like, it brings comfort to me. So I'll say my biggest flex is I actually knowing I have somebody who has my back and very supportive.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Having my back, and like, if I feel like it's like, you know, I have no one else to turn to and you're there, is like super important.
Or just always knowing that you can turn to that person. Like,
Yeah.
you always have.
Like, no
Like,
matter
you don't
what.
have to doubt it. Like,
Yeah.
if the world is against you, you know that your partner has you ride or die. Right?
Absolutely, man. That's
think
really
that's
Like,
dope.
it's actually a big turnoff for me, knowing that I can't call my partner and be like, I need you for this, you know? Like, you know, like a lot of guys are unavailable, like don't answer the phone, or like maybe deep sleepers. I don't like that. Like, I need my guy to be very alert. Like, my guy, like,
Well, because I could say because
it gives me comfort.
Right,
like,
but
you
also
know?
too, but in the line of work, possibly where you're at too, like, you know, it's overnight. Like, you know what I'm saying, third shift. Something might happen and he's home, whatever, and you like, hey, listen, you know, I need you to come over here for whatever reason, and he's not available. So yeah, that brings kind of like your security down.
I wasn't really
a little
talking
bit.
about work-wise, but I mean, like, just in general. Like, if I'm like,
Dependable.
yeah, like if I just need you and I call you and you don't answer, like, it just makes me feel like you don't. Yeah.
He doesn't value you.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, you know
Even
what?
with friends,
Another
like
thing
friendship.
that's kind of weird. Okay, so like I have a thing. I don't like when men fall asleep, like can't drive. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm
Does that make
guilty of
any
that. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that shit.
Yeah, okay.
When I go out, my
So,
wife
like,
drives back.
That's what happens to me. I can't drive. I need an Uber or whatever. I need my guy to take the you know, control on that, and like I need him to be able to, like, I can drive us no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I would drive us,
Yeah.
BB, but to be honest, you know me too. I'd be like,
No,
yo,
no,
babe, we're driving there, but on the way back, I'm passing out. You know what I mean? And I would rather us get home safe. She's
yeah. No, I feel you. It's something you can control,
Yeah.
but it's like a thing to me, like it bothers me.
Yeah. No, but I mean, in my specific sense of that is like I always love to drive. I'm the man. I like to take control of the wheel. Yeah. But the thing is, it feels good when sometimes I can sit in the passenger seat and know that she's gonna take over. Yo, for real, because there's been times, in the morning we'll go to like Tampa, go to Busch Gardens, hit the whole day at Busch Gardens, and drive back. And I'm like, I'm like, crash.
That's a pain.
Yo, bro, it's a lot. So you imagine going, that's like 10 hours or 12 hours of driving.
Yeah.
So you got your partner.
Yo,
so you got your partner. I'm like, I can't do it. Don't worry, I got you. So I think that's a sense of comfort and security too. Because cause you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're like tired as fuck and you trying to be the man and drive. So don't worry, I got it. I'm like, what? Yeah, go ahead, girl. Shit.
Like I was dating this guy one time and like he almost crashed us into a river. And then after that I was like, this is not the guy for me.
I would assume so.
This is not the guy for me. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it was not even that late. We were both fucked up. Like, like you need to like figure it out.
See,
like, figure it out.
Because I've noticed that even like if you can't hold your liquor in certain instances like that, and a woman sees that you can't hold it. Shorty's
I don't like when a guy can't hold his liquor. Ew, it's a turn off. Don't drink then.
Yeah, Shorty's looking like, all right, well, who's driving who home? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, that's a good point.
But now you got Uber and shit, so now you ain't even gotta worry.
No, yeah, like okay, then make that choice to Uber.
Are you crazy? People will spend $500 in the fucking club drinking and having a good time, and still decide to drive home.
But that's a man's ego. That's a man's ego right there. That's his ego talking. Instead of saying like, I'm fucked up. Nah, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I would rather just fucking.
Ain't nobody leaving their vehicle at the fucking club, nigga, to drive all the way to Fort Lauderdale and make it happen. There ain't nobody doing that shit.
If I'm fucked up, if I'm super fucked up, and my wife is fucked up, I'm Ubering, nigga. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That's why you're the man.
Know your limitations.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very you hit that shit on the fucking nose. That right there is so fucking important.
It's very key.
Your limits. A lot of people don't know their limits. They just keep fucking going. And that's the problem. Because then sometimes they don't realize what the fuck they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's toxic. I think that's toxic.
Yeah, I have a friend that got like a few DUIs. And every single time he gets a DUI, he blames it on somebody else. I'm like, bro, there's no way. This is your fault.
He gave me the drink. Yeah. He drank it.
I know. He's like, I would have never gone out if they never invited me out. Like,
damn, he brought it back to before he even got to the spot.
Yeah,
what the
fuck? Like what?
Oh man.
So speak on all of those topics, right? Do you guys feel like you need to change someone to fit a mold that you feel is a good partner? Like, for example, you start dating someone, you start dating a man, you start dating a female, and there's certain qualities you like about them, right? So you're like, man, I can work with this, but there's certain traits that they have, like you just mentioned, right? Like the non-driving, right? I don't know, just certain traits that you have that you dislike.
So right? I would say younger me would want to mold somebody, but me now, I don't want to mold shit. Like, I want you to come to me and we become better. That's it.
Why? Because you think you apply too much energy to trying to?
I just feel like, yes, I don't need to focus myself on molding you. I need to fix like our future. Like, let's work towards higher goals.
Progressively work.
And like, to be honest, like my brother made a comment the other day, and he's like, a lot of times like people are damaged because of their upbringing. Right? Yes. So you basically look at it like farm raised versus factory. Like, who wants that fucking factory meat that's like
processed?
Yes, right? All the fucking hormones and shit. No, you want that tenderized, good farm raised, meat. Like
yeah. So what is he implying to actually like talking like into a female?
Because of women that he's spoken to,
right?
You're dealing with this bitch that has all these problems. Right. Like, she's fucking a headache and a handful to deal with, and it's because of her parents. And now you meet a girl that like came from a good upbringing, and you don't have to deal with all those like issues.
Yeah, but I think with that, I think it's normal that sometimes that we actually kind of like want to tweak something that we already have good. Because like, take a country girl for instance. Like, they're very submissive, but there's some things like, yo, come on, scream at me, yell at me, do something, that kind of like that'll turn the whole situation
off.
Like,
that toxic. You love that toxic
yourself.
Yeah.
You have to work on yourself, Jay, because that means
that was just an example. What the fuck, man? That was just
this guy's being toxic.
Yes,
this
toxic is
guy
not what you want. Toxic is what you need to stay away from.
All right, I understand, but that was just an
I get
example.
it. It's attractive, and you're like, I kind of like this. I'm guilty too, you know. But I like now that I'm older and I've realized like these are things that we should not be attracted to.
I agree.
You know, you want somebody that's healthy and mentally stable. You know, you don't want that screaming. You don't want that disrespect. You want to be able to communicate and like flow.
Yeah, but see, the good thing about that is like when you've been in relationships that could be toxic or long, you kind of learn about yourself or what actually you like or what you don't like. So when you bring that into something new, you can already pull out flags because I mean, I don't really like women smoking cigarettes. So if I meet a chick and she smokes cigarettes, that's already a no for me. So it's kind of like, so you kind of learn about yourself as well too. So
yeah,
it's always a good
So how
thing.
do you guys feel like, so when you end a relationship, you start dating someone new, but you're still in love with your ex. You consider that to be toxic, a toxic trait?
yeah.
But I think
it's
everyone
toxic for
becomes
sure
different.
because you need to be able to get past that, or at least know you can have love, you know. But if it's that strong, like you're like constantly thinking about them all the time, maybe this person that you're talking to now is not the one.
Right.
Because
Well,
you're like not being like, you know, like somebody should be able to take you out of that space.
right.
And
So
aside from that, you're comparing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now if you're comparing your new person to your
You're not
ex,
giving your new
right?
person a
Then you're
chance.
not giving the new person the opportunity to fulfill that slot. You know
see,
what I mean?
but that goes back to what we talked about earlier with the whole P Diddy thing. Like that person was used to that, so even though the person took the time to let go, even lock eyes with the person, oh my God, like everything just comes back. You know what I mean? Because they don't know how to draw away from that situation.
Yeah, but look at Cassie now. She's
She's
actually
in a
married.
beautiful
She has a
relationship.
beautiful relationship. She's married. She has a kid.
Well, that's the whole thing. She was willing to let go.
Yeah.
You know, some people just don't know how to fucking let go.
That's what we're talking about.
She was also a child.
She was very-
17.
she was-
You don't know what the fuck you're doing. I still didn't know what I was doing at 21. You know?
Jay still don't know
Once I
what the
hit
fuck
my
he's doing now.
30s, I think
I was about to agree with you.
he's like,
Yeah, you're right.
don't.
Hey, so watch this. So on another note, right? Switching up a little bit. Why is it that women Photoshop their pictures so damn much? Like I feel like that for certain men, like and a lot of men have told me this, that it affects the dating scene.
Is Santos gonna answer this first?
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm not saying nothing about it.
Listen,
I'm just
what
saying
is-
we're just getting a woman's perspective.
Okay, so there's a difference between filters, like, you know, like slight filters, and then photoshopping the fuck out of your picture to where you look animated.
That's what I'm talking
Like
about.
some of these girls really go in, and I'm like, what is it? Does she have Android? Like, does she not see what she's doing to her face? A lot of these girls OD on the pictures, and it doesn't look realistic.
Well,
But if you do something that gives you like a little bit of makeup, and like you
A
could actually
filter
look
is
like that
fine.
with a little bit of makeup, then I guess it's okay.
but why would you have a filter with a little bit of makeup when you can already apply that naturally? Like, what is going on? Like, I look at it as like a high insecurity thing. You know what I mean? To promote yourself in a way that really doesn't apply to you at all. Like, why are you gonna filter yourself so much and apply all these different type of things? Why?
So
Why would you do that?
So watch this.
To
So
attract somebody
yeah, to
better.
attract the right person, right? To attract the attention that you really want,
Yeah.
or the person you really want. But makeup is good, right? But that's another topic, right? So now it's good that you brought that up, right? Because some females put on so much fucking makeup
Pound cake.
that it's a totally different person.
Yeah.
Yo, that's wild to
Yeah.
me. So you know what I recommend? This is some asshole shit though, but this is what I recommend, right? Go to the fucking beach. Jump in the fucking
You
water.
just want to see a big.
I'm trying to think. No.
No.
What I'm saying is,
He wants to
what I'm
see that
saying
no,
is
that face.
No,
melt off.
to be honest,
You
if
know
I
what
was
I'm
a
saying?
dude, that would be my first thing. Like, what's up, beach date? You know, I want to see what you look like.
Yo, but see, but that's the problem. Why are you going to the beach with fucking makeup on?
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know. If she's going to the beach with makeup on, then you know she's not really, you know, that pretty.
No, and then like going back to the Photoshop, right? Like the females will Photoshop their face, you know what I mean? And then you get to meet them, and you're like, yo, what the fuck?
No, I've seen girls that like sit there for like 2-3 hours working on their pictures.
That's
What?
Posted.
No, yo.
Yeah.
See,
Which
social-
whatever.
Social
I'm
media
not
fucked up the
judging,
whole thing.
But that's a lot of fucking effort.
Yeah, but okay, so 3 hours into that effort, now you pulled up to a date, a man that you consider to talking to, probably a man of high value, and I see you first, and it's not as you advertised, on your 3-hour Photoshop. Then what? I'm looking at you like,
I want a refund.
Yeah, but you know what I heard the other night?
A refund?
Some guy told this girl.
how much you paid to meet up with this bitch?
Some guy told my homegirl after he met her, like we're at work, and then some guy's like, "Damn, I didn't know you look so good," because of her Instagram. So I'm like, what does that mean? Like, does he mean like?
He told her that.
Yeah,
in person?
he's like, "Damn, I know you look so good." So like, he's now interested in her because of seeing her Instagram.
Well, maybe she has
So that
revealing.
right there
Maybe
kinda
she
like
has
you look at
revealing
something
pictures though.
different,
Maybe
like-
she has revealing pictures. He's like, yo, I can't. In what you
Oh,
wear,
yeah,
like
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't see what's
Oh, okay.
underneath.
Maybe
you know
so.
what I'm saying?
Maybe
Like,
so.
Yeah,
That's
but I
probably-
mean, what also does she have on her gram that maybe he found
No, dude,
interesting?
she looks way better on the gram. Like
Yeah?
she's hot on the gram, and then in real life, she's cute in real life. But she
Cute
is
to
like,
bad.
don't fucking take. She's like that. Like, don't take pictures of me. Stop. You
Uh,
know?
So why is this? So
that
now,
pimple there's.
No, it's not even pimples. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what?
I guess the face looks like more contoured, like fillers and
Well,
stuff
now,
like
now
that.
that I think about it, there's people so infatuated with fantasies. Like people actually enjoy seeing this person in that fantasy life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, right?
And that's what I was trying to say. Like some guys actually like the filter shit. Cause they're like, oh, everybody sweats her. Look at her followers, like she's fine
Yo.
as fuck online, and that's what they're
It's a
like,
flex
more
for
worried
you.
Yo,
It's a
about.
flex.
Yes.
see, but see, that's what you was talking about. So
Yeah.
you know
'Cause
what?
I've seen
I want a
guys
piece of
like
that.
girls that are like not that cute, and then they're like
Yo,
so
fuck it.
happy with their bitch, and I'm like, what the fuck? This bitch
Yo,
does
you know
not
what
look
though?
like that.
But no lie though, you got to be a lame ass motherfucker to be bragging about a chick that looks good in photos, and when you're walking with her real life, she don't look like that. Like that shit is not a fucking. Flex.
Well, I mean, if Shorty has over 50,000 followers, man, he wants a little piece
Yeah,
of
but
that
you
too.
can
Like
fucking
that's
buy-
bragging rights for him.
Yeah, but you
that's
can,
it. That's
you
his
can fucking buy
flex.
followers.
Yeah,
bro.
guys. Yeah. Well, you can kind of tell what's fake and what's real.
But I agree with Cyrus.
With the photoshopping, with all the makeup, like women nowadays, there's beautiful women out there, right? Of course, but almost, I would say 99% of women wear fucking makeup, right? Very few women don't wear makeup. But if you
I don't
cake
find it on
on,
right now.
okay. But if you cake on the makeup, right, and it contours you and it transforms you into a whole different person that you're not without makeup, how do you set that standard so high for a fucking man? You see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't add up. It doesn't make any fucking sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, but we're
You feel
not
me?
adding up. We're not supposed to be like measuring dicks.
What I'm saying is, you want to do like.
I get what you're saying. I
You
get
want
what
to do
you're
that
saying.
6'2". You want to do that has mad bread. You want to do that has fucking blue
I
eyes.
mean, that's
You know what I'm
not.
saying? Like,
I mean, I don't have all those requirements.
we're not talking about you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
We're talking about just like the general population, right? Like the average woman out there says, well, if you go on any fucking, you ask 20 women, do you like a short man, a tall man, or does it matter? Yeah.
Yeah, they all want tall guys.
That's the first thing they say.
Which I don't
I want a
agree
tall
with
man.
that.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
don't care
So,
about
but then those are the first females that have all the fucking makeup on, right? Extra fucking makeup, and then without the makeup, they go from a fucking 10 to a 6. Now you're like, all
And
right,
then they
bro.
have all these qualifications.
You feel me?
And
Like
then you ask him like, so what do you bring to the table?
Yeah,
Here
but
the
those are
answers
bird brains. Like, you have to already know. Like, bitches like that don't have nothing to
It's
offer.
so common nowadays, though. Is the crazy part. That shit's very.
Well, we're in
common.
Miami.
You're right.
You're right about that. You are absolutely right, man. It's so superficial out here,
I
man.
saw a post that says, I moved out of Miami and I found my soulmate. I moved out of Miami and I was able to get a 8 instead of a 4. Like,
A Miami 8 is
yeah, and she was like basically
Yeah,
saying
okay.
like her not being in Miami, she's like a higher, like a number on the scale.
Oh,
Because she's
yeah.
not here. But a lot of
Right.
the girls here are done up, so it's like, fuck. Like,
But there's nothing
natural
wrong with
bitches,
that
like,
shit,
you know,
though.
no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with
No, it's, you know, if you got work done and it looks good, good for you. But when it's blotched,
Yeah, but that's
when it's
it's
fucked
just,
up.
yeah, it's sloppy.
Some people
But that's
don't
the thing. It's like the average woman who wants to get a BBL, whatever, want to do their body up, like they think they just get it done and they can just go about their life eating burgers with the regular. No, you gotta tone that shit into your body. You gotta work out. You gotta upkeep that shit.
Yo,
Just can't.
Why is it that single women always want to give fucking advice to a female that's in a relationship? Their friend.
everybody just has something to fucking say. Everybody just has something to
They
say.
can't find a man of their own They can't keep a fucking relationship. They can't keep a man, but they have all the solutions.
And one of the best advices that I ever got was don't take advice from someone that is not successful in what they're giving advice on.
Absolutely.
That actually sounds pretty good. You want to say that again?
Yeah. Go ahead, Judy, say it for me.
I
Don't take advice from someone that isn't successful in what you're giving advice on.
But it's so crazy because at that point it's like it's so easier on the outside looking in. You know what I mean? So it's like a person could just be in their ear and you know what? I haven't really thought about that. And then they apply it and then they just totally misjudge what they had moving forward. But
no, 100%. Like I see, like people always tell me about my guy. My guy's like a grouch. So people are always like, "Oh, he's so grouchy." Okay, but you were in a relationship where you're getting beat up. You were in a relationship where you're getting cheated on. You're in a relationship where you're maintaining your man. So leave my grouch alone.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But you know what? You see what you did right there? You dictated your own decision, your own life. Yeah. But there's people out there that be in your ear, and you know what? They were like, you know what? You're right. Yeah. And then they channel it to their situation and could fuck up the whole dynamic.
100%. But that's where you got to be more intelligent and be able to decipher what you really want to take out of this conversation with that person and what you just need to leave there.
I agree.
So, and then even worse, those people who give you that advice, they tend to put themselves in the same predicament that you're in at a later time and do the opposite.
Yeah.
Then they don't even follow their own fucking advice.
Like, have you ever heard that saying, don't spit up?
Because it's going to come right back at you.
Right at your face. Because it happens. You never know what you would do in that situation.
I would do this. I would do that. Then you're in the fucking predicament. And you eat shit just like that last person. Yeah. That's wild.
100%. I myself had said I wouldn't do something and then later on I'm doing it.
I get it, man.
So I try not to judge in that sense.
I just figured like just people need to be a lot more stronger with, you know, on their stand front. Yeah, they could get all the advice they want, but like you said, weed it out, choose the ones that's credible for you, and then apply it. But you know, it's heart's a lot weaker now. So
be selective. Be selective with the advice you get. Pretty much.
Yeah, plain and simple.
So let me ask you. So do you feel like us men value respect over love?
100%.
That's a well. I mean,
I say that as a woman.
You feel that? So you feel that? You feel that from the men that you've dated, they valued more respect than love?
Yeah, because they feel like respect is a form of love, which I agree. Because if you love somebody enough, you respect them.
That's what I was going to say.
That's what I was going to say.
If you love someone enough, you will respect them.
Right.
There's a lot of things that I don't do just because I respect my man. Like, I'm not going to entertain certain conversations. I'm not going to put myself in certain situations just because I know if it was me, I would feel like that's disrespectful.
Or you're afraid that, you know, shit's going to pop off at that point. You know what I mean? And I think that's a very big thing. But that's why I think they come hand in hand. You have to have both. You can't have one over the other.
Well, I think she has a good point. I think one comes with the other, right? But I think we respect each other, right? It doesn't mean we have to love each other, right? But if you love your partner, you're gonna want the best for them, and respect is very significant, right? That's a very.
It's important to you. Why wouldn't it be important to them?
I guess, but even though as like we're family, let's say not even having like significant others, but I don't see myself disrespecting you or not respecting you, but not loving you. Like I love you, and I'm gonna respect you all.
What I'm saying is, there's a lot of people that you don't love, but you respect them because you're just a respectful person. That's how you carry yourself at the end of the day. You give the respect to get it back. You get me?
Yeah.
But when you love someone, you generally give it because aside from being respectful, you genuinely want to treat them well. You want to see them happy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah. That sounds
good. I think that's where the difference comes in when it comes to that.
I think it all depends on just the situation, I guess.